to Carolina Caring's annual service of remembrance and blessing. I am Annette Walker. We appreciate you being here in person and for joining us virtually. Thank you for allowing our hospice to serve and care for your loved ones and for letting us walk with you along your journey. It is truly our privilege to do so. When you enter the church, you should have gotten a leaf, but I want to make sure that everyone has one. So if you missed that and don't have one, please raise your hand. They're going to bring you one. I'm going to wait just a minute. If you'll raise your hand again, so just go. If you are joining us virtually, in the packet you received in the mail, you have the program to follow along and participate in the service. You should have a leaf and be sure to have a marker or pen, which we will use later in the service. As you leave the service today, on the tables where you got your leaf, you will find 2 large containers that have stones in them, and stones will be laying on the tables. These stones have great significance to your hospice staff. Every team meeting, we remember each person that passed since the last meeting. Your loved one's name is said out loud as a stone is dropped into that container. The staff share a word or a memory of your loved one, and we pause to offer a prayer of gratitude for each individual. We also say a prayer of comfort for you. As you leave this afternoon, we invite you to take a stone as a keepsake of this remembrance of this day and of the life or lives of your loved ones. Thank you again for joining us, and as you reflect and remember, may your loved one be honored and may you be blessed through this service.
In the presence of death, we turn instinctively to others for comfort and strength, and it is given. A warm hand clasp, a quiet word, a gracious deed. The very fact that you are here are ways of saying in times of grief that we care. We all have suffered or will someday suffer sorrow and loss. Today we offer companionship and support. You do not walk the way of sadness alone.
been a light to us, memorializing our relationship in a ceremony of candle light and love. I invite you to collectively respond after each lighting of the candle, where it says all in your program. We light a candle in memory of those who have handed us the gift of life itself. We honor those who gave us birth and nurtured us, those who endowed us with the heritage and raised us, those who offered us love and cherished us. All, I'll speak now. We remember mothers, fathers, grandparents, great-grandparents, and all our ancestors through the ages. We remember also those who were mother and father to us, loving us by choice rather than by chance. We light a candle in memory of those whom we've discovered through the eyes of love in our journey through life, ones who have made our time on earth more enjoyable and our experiences in the world more memorable. Remember ones who worked with us and played with us, holding sacred the remembrances of those who brightened our days with affection and who lit up our lives with devotion. We remember wives and husbands, partners and closest friends, those who opened us to ourselves to wise life, even as we opened ourselves to them and now to eternity. We light a candle in memory of those whom we ourselves have passed on the precious gift of life. We hold dear to our hearts those who have held in our arms and in our dreams. Remember the children who have gone before us, and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Remember those who lived in the womb and those who danced upon the earth. We light a candle in memory of those who have been linked with us in the ongoing chain of family life. We honor those who have shared our heredity and who have experienced our common bonds. We remember sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, relatives near and distant throughout time. We leave the final candle unlit, aware of the fact that others will join our ranks in the days to come, that they are doing so now. They will stand where we now stand and feel what we now feel. Our hearts reach out to them.
If you'd like to follow along, page 36 in your purple hymnal, we're going to sing Amazing Grace.
Thank
From Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 through 8. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to throw away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace.
The Fall of Freddie the Leaf was written by Leo Buscaglia. It is a wise but simple story about a leaf named Freddie. The story shares how Freddie and his companion leaves change with the passing seasons before falling to the ground with winter snow. This inspiring story illustrates the delicate balance between life and death. Spring has passed, so had summer. Freddie the leaf had grown quite large. He had first appeared in spring as a small sprout on a rather large branch near the top of a tall tree. Freddie was surrounded by hundreds of other leaves just like himself, or so it seemed. Soon he discovered that no two leaves were alike, even though they were on the same tree. Daniel was the leaf next to him. They had learned to dance in the spring breezes, bask lazily in the summer sun, and wash off in the cooling rains. Daniel was Freddie's best friend. He was the largest leaf on the limb, and he seemed to have been there before anyone else. Daniel was also the wisest among them. It was Daniel who told them that they were part of the tree. It was Daniel who told them that the tree had strong roots, which were hidden in the ground below. He explained about the sun and the moon, the stars, and the seasons. Freddie loved being a leaf. He loved his branch, his leafy friends, his place high in the sky. He loved the wind that jostled him about, the sun rays that warmed him, and the moon that covered him with soft, white shadows. Summer had been especially nice. The long, hot days felt good. There were many people in the park that summer, often sitting under Freddie's tree. Daniel told him that giving shade was part of his purpose. "What's a purpose?" asked Freddie. "A reason for being," Daniel answered. "To make things more pleasant for others is a reason for being. To make shade for the older people who come to escape the heat. To provide a cool place for children to come and play. These are all reasons for being." Freddie especially liked the older people who talked in whispers of times past. The children were fun too, and he enjoyed watching them move and run so fast and laugh so much. But Freddie's summer soon passed. It vanished on an October night. He had never felt so cold, and all of the leaves shivered with the cold. They were coated with a thin layer of white, which quickly melted and left them dew-drenched and sparkling in the morning sun. Daniel explained that they had just experienced a first frost, and that was a sign that it was fall and that winter would soon come. Almost at once, the tree was transformed into a blaze of color. Daniel was a deep purple, and Freddie was red and gold. How beautiful they both looked. Well, why did we turn different colors? Freddie asked. We are on the same tree. Each of us is different. We have had different experiences. We have faced the sun differently. We have cast shade differently. Why should we not have different colors? Daniel said matter-of-factly. The wonderful season is called fall. Well, one day, a very strange thing happened. The same breezes that had made them dance began to push and to pull against their stems, almost as if they were angry. Some of the leaves were torn from their branches, swept up in the wind, and dropped softly to the ground. All of the leaves became very frightened. What's happening? Whispered Freddie. It's what happens in the fall, Daniel told them. It's the time for leaves to change their home. Some people call it to die. Will we all die? Freddie asked. Yes, Daniel answered. Everything dies, no matter how big or small, how weak or strong. We first do our job. We experience the sun and the moon, the wind and the rain. We learn to dance and to laugh, and then we die. I won't die, said Freddie with determination. Will you, Daniel? Yes. Yes, I will when it is my time, answered Daniel. Well, when is that? Asked Freddie. No one knows for sure, Daniel responded. Well, Freddie noticed that the other leaves were falling. He thought it must be their time. Some leaves lashed back at the wind before they fell, but others simply let go, and they dropped quietly. Soon the tree was almost bare. Daniel, I'm afraid to die, said Freddie. I don't know what's down there. We all fear what we don't know, Freddie. It's natural. You were not afraid when spring became summer or when summer became fall because they were natural changes. Why should you be afraid of the season of death? Does the tree die too? Freddie asked. Someday. But the tree is something strong. But there's something stronger than the tree, and that is life. That lasts forever, and we are all part of life. Will we come back in the spring? We may not, replied Daniel, but life will. Well, then what has been the reason for all of this? Why were we here at all if we only have to fall and die? Questioned Freddie. Daniel answered, it's been about the sun and the moon. It's been about happy times together. It's been about the shade and the old people and the children. It's been about colors in the fall. It's been about seasons. Isn't that enough? That afternoon, in the golden light of dusk, Daniel let go. He fell effortlessly. He seemed to smile peacefully as he fell. Goodbye for now, Freddie, he said. Then Freddie was alone. He was the only leaf left on his branch. The first snow fell the following morning. It was soft, white, and gentle, but it was bitter cold. Freddie found himself losing his color and becoming brittle. It was constantly cold, and the snow weighed heavily upon him. At dawn, the wind came that took Freddie from his branch. It didn't hurt at all. He felt himself float quietly, gently, and softly downward. As he fell, he saw the whole tree for the first time. How strong and firm it was. He felt sure that it would live for a long time, and he knew that he had been part of its life, and it made him proud. Freddie landed on a clump of snow. It somehow felt soft and even warm. In this new position, he was more comfortable than he had ever been. He did not know that spring would follow the winter, and that the snow would melt into water. He did not know that what appeared to be his useless, dried self would join with that water and serve to make that tree stronger. But most of all, Freddie did not know that there, asleep in the tree and in the ground, were already plans for new leaves in the spring. The beginning.
If you are joining us virtually today, I would like for you to write your loved one's name on the leaf provided and take time to hold your leaf. Speak your loved one's name out loud and share a word or two that describes your loved one or how he or she blessed your life. And for those who are here with us today, you wrote your loved one's name on a leaf when you came in. We invite you to come forward and place your leaf in the horn of plenty. You can speak your loved one's name in the microphone if you are comfortable in doing so. We will go one aisle at a time, and staff will indicate when it is your time. We'll come down the center aisle and then go out the outside aisles. For my sweet mom, Betsy.
For my mom, Joan, my dad, and my Aunt Phyllis.
My mother, Frances, and my father, John.
My cousin Gary, and my best friend Smith. Betsy, and all the people that I've had the opportunity to serve. My beloved Uncle Sean.
My daughter Sheila, and their mom.
Our dad, Harvey Summer.
For my husband Steve. For my friend Steve.
My boyfriend, Ralph Sherman.
Pearl Haynes, we miss you.
stranger.
For my daddy and for my nephew Jacob.
My wife, Ann. Also, Ann, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, and our aunt out there.
My Nana and Weaver, and also my Aunt Pat Anderson. For my mom and dad, Marie and Jack.
My mom and dad, Jack and Marie Aiken.
My mother, Mary. My mother, Mary.
For my mom, Amy. For my loving, caring mother, Amy.
My loving husband, Brian.
My mom, Mary Sue Miller.
For my husband.
For my dad and my friend Maria.
For my dad and for Ann.
For my mother-in-law, Leah Wall.
For my loving precious mother, Lena Wall.
My mother-in-law, Lena Wall.
My husband, Donald.
For my dad, Thomas, and my mother, Lillian.
My mother, Faye Pugh.
My loving husband, Wayne.
My dad, Wayne Vance. My cousin, Vicky Deal.
My son, Timothy Hickory.
My husband, Kenny McConnell, and our son, Martin McConnell.
My good friend, Kenny McConnell.
My devoted friend, Kenny McConnell.
My mama, Mary Rudisell. Love you more. My sweet mama, Mary Rudisell, and my sweet Aunt Jean Hale.
My loving mom, Nadine Waters.
My mother, Mary Rudisell. I miss you every day. My husband, Gene Harvey.
In memory of Gene Harville.
Mary of Lonningham, my husband, love of my life.
For our great grandma, Mama Lucy. For my grandmother, Billy Sue. For my mother, Billy Sue. For my precious mother, Billy Sue. For my mom, Billy Sue.
Sweet, beautiful, my mama Hilda.
My mother, Hilda, and my father, Frederick. My precious, beautiful mom and father, Gregorio and Hilda. My beloved parents, mis adorados padres, Hilda and Gregorio.
grandmother Agatha,
For my mom, Dot.
My husband, Jim Hickman.
For my dad, Clyde, and my aunt Frances.
For my mother, June, and my husband, Rick.
Mama Wilson.
Brother-in-law, Bradley Sermons.
For my wife, Nora.
For my mother, Jean.
For my mom, Trilby.
For my mom, Trilby.
For my mother-in-law, Trilby.
my granddaughter Brooke,
Beautiful granddaughter, Bertie. You're gone, but you're not forgotten.
To my daughter, Brooke Lynn.
Holy God, your creation was designed for change. We see it with each colorful leaf that falls gently to the earth with the wind of coming winter. We need to tell you, God, that change and loss are difficult for us. We also know that you created us to love and be in relationship with one another. This loving makes us vulnerable to hurt and loss. Today, God, we are bringing you our thanksgiving and our pain. We lift up our tender hearts along with all the tender memories represented by the names that have been mentioned. Thank you, God, for every person whose name has been spoken, written, or remembered. Amen. We love them, we miss them, and we are thankful to have them forever in our hearts. Amen.